Good afternoon, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. I hope you are doing well. Today we're going to be potting up some of our remaining tomatoes and cucumbers, as well as transplanting all of these new plants that just arrived. Today I had planned on going out to the farm and spending the day out there string trimming and stuff, but Mike needed the truck, which is fine, and so I went out there anyway to check on things and set traps. A lot of the zinnias are gone because they were eaten, so it's a good thing I have 2 more successions in the greenhouse. It's going to be okay. I do have netting that we will install over those beds because I have noticed it really has helped. The snapdragons are all still there. So tomorrow we will be transplanting sunflowers, covering that bed, and I'm going to start hardening off the new batch of zinnias and grasses as well. Also doing a lot of string trimming, applying gypsum, trying to keep working on those beds. So it's just a lot of stuff to do out there. Mostly I just felt really overwhelmed this morning. So I set 7 gopher traps and hopefully we'll catch a bunch. And then I came back here. And so what I did on the way is I stopped and picked up a little bit of ground cover because we're going to go ahead and plant up the bed that I just cleaned out the other day, and some other places with this garden collection that came yesterday. So Farmer Bailey, which is a plug company that I get a lot of my plugs from, and they work with different plug suppliers like Grow and Sell in the East and Plug Connection here in California. They offered something called the Garden Club, which is for gardeners who want small amounts of things, right? They don't want 288 Lysianthus, because what are you going to do with that many in a small garden? So I went ahead and I purchased their Garden Club kit. I don't know if this was the single one. I don't remember. Anyway, it came with 8 plants, 3 of each variety. And so I'll talk about them here, and I'll pop a picture up in case you're unfamiliar with that plant. Some of these I'm familiar with and have grown or are currently growing, and some of them are new for me. So let's get started with the first one. This first one is Caryopteris. Now this is Pagoda Dark Pink. You've likely seen these in yellow and blue as well. They can get up to 4 to 5 feet high, depending on the variety, and they're hardy down to zone 5, which is great. They will naturalize in warmer areas, so I'm assuming that will happen for me here in 9B. This one, again, is a dark pink. They pull in amazing pollinators. They want full sun, so we'll have to make sure where we put this guy, and I have 3 of them, they're going to get full sun. Okay, next we have 2 varieties of phlox. This one, Glamour Girl, this is a pink variety, and it is hardy to between zones 3 and 8, although I think it'll be doing fine here. It wants full to partial sun, so I'm going to, because I'm in the upper end, just over the upper range of what it wants in terms of heat, I'm going to put this one in part sun. So same with this other one. This one is Fashionably Early Crystal. It's a white variety. These are upright garden phlox, so they get tall, 3 to 4 feet and 2 to 3 feet wide. So I'm excited to get these guys in the garden. I think these are going to go in the cottage garden. Actually, I take that back. The cottage garden is morning shade, afternoon sun. It gets pretty darn hot there in the afternoon. So actually, I think these guys might go, we'll have to find the perfect spot for them. They're going to be beautiful. I love garden phlox. I can also cut on these for bouquets. The next one is a Veronica. This is called Blue Shades, and you can actually see one of the blooms right here, just starting. Also known as Spike Speedwell. These gals are good hardy down to zone 4. They get 2 to 3 inches 2 to 3 feet tall and 2 to 2.5 feet wide. And they want part sun, they want full sun, 2 part shade. So they have a very wide range. Also, pretty much everything here, with the exception of the sedum and the yarrow, just need like average water, nothing major. So they're perfect for my zone. Next, we have a sedum. This is Autumn Fire. Now this is an improved version of Autumn Joy, so it has larger flower heads and they last longer. So this blooms from late summer all the way to the end of fall, and it gets up to 2 feet high and 2 feet wide. So gorgeous plant. I love these so much. I have 3 of them, so I'm excited. These are going to go along the front walk in the rock garden area because they're perfectly adapted for that. They don't really want much water once they are established, and they also, sedums also really don't like to be fertilized. And so a lot of the stuff that's on that front walk is in that same vein where it doesn't really want to be messed with. It's like creeping thyme and stuff like that. They just want to do their thing. They'll get the nutrients they need from the soil. Fertilization sometimes makes them really unhappy. So these guys also already have a home. Next, we have mountain mint. And again, 3 of these. This is Pycnanthemum mudicum. This beauty blooms between July and October, that whole time, with little tiny white flowers. It is a member of the mint family. Does smell minty. Oddly enough, well, yeah, it does have the square stem, but not as square as some mint species. But this makes an amazing foliage for bouquets. So this is one that I definitely want. And I'm actually going to put it over here on the edge of the cottage garden, not really in the cottage garden itself. I'm going to plant all 3 of them together. They'll be a nice big bush. They'll get up to about 3 feet tall and about 2 feet wide per piece, but they'll be harvested on quite liberally. And so they may spread a little bit in my lawn, but I don't mind because this is not really a lawn. I'm not too concerned about that. So they can take full sun to partial shade, and that'll be good because this area will not get full sun, especially because in the summer it just gets too hot, and they'll have just what they need in this spot over here. And the last 2 plants are both a yarrow. This one is Achillea yarrow summer pastels mix, and this is the kind of foliage you're used to seeing from yarrow. This guy, both of these get up 2 to 3 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet wide, depending on how happy they are in their location. They are highly drought tolerant once they are established. Summer pastels is a really beautiful, like pinky purple, peachy colors, and apricot. And then we have Peter Cottontail. This one has tiny little white flowers. It's very different in look. Obviously, even the foliage looks very different. And the flowers themselves are very tight little balls that don't get those big umbellifer-shaped flower heads like the other yarrow does. But again, same needs, and these guys are hardy down to zone 3. Now we just need to find the perfect spot for all of these. I already have an idea, but we'll place them and get them dug in and planted. Okay, so we're sitting here next to this little tiny garden where I trimmed back everything. I also got ground cover to put in here. We got 2 types, and we're going to kind of alternate them around the corners here. So this is a low-growing Roman chamomile. It'll get 9 inches tall max. It is very drought tolerant once it's established. Actually, you can walk on this particular one, but I don't plan on doing that because it'll be in the garden bed. We're going to alternate that with this pennyroyal. It's beautiful, right? This one has purple flowers, gets up to 12 inches high. Leaves deter fleas and ants if crushed on the skin. That's interesting. Anyway, both of these are ground covers. They are drought tolerant. They can also handle frost, and they want full sun, which this spot gets all day long. It gets about 8 hours of full sun. So this is a south-facing bed, and it gets more sun than probably any other place in the whole property. So we're going to put 2 of these Peter Cottontail yarrows in, and the Caryopteris pagoda, we're going to put 3 of those 3 here as well in the back because they'll get taller. Now, yeah, they're going to get pretty tall during the season and kind of cover up the window a little bit, but not too bad, and I think it'll look really nice. Plus, we can cut those back. And then, if there's still room in here, as everything fills in, I can pop in some of those small sunflowers in the front or even in the middle. So we'll see. And if the lavender and the lantana doesn't come back as expected to, we can just remove those and there'll be plenty of space for other plants. All right, I'm going to get these guys popped in. First, I want to go dunk these in water to get them completely saturated before they go into this soil because they're a little bit dry. Oh, and I'm going to be using this Ultra Bloom plant food. This is great for flowering plants when you are starting them in a new spot. Okay, we've got those guys planted. I'll show you if I can remember everywhere that I put them. So first of all, this is Centranthus, also known as white valerian. It spreads through here. It's absolutely beautiful, and I get lots of cuts off of it. I love it so much. And I can cut it to the ground every year, and it just keeps coming back. But I did put one of the tall phloxes and the Peter Cottontail back here. Those will get quite tall in the back. I didn't put anything up front because we need small stuff for up front. And I do have some Rudbeckia and Echinacea planted up here. And then I put another tall phlox there and one right here. And then I did a trio of the yarrow summer berries because you'll be able to see that coming down the pathway and from inside the cottage garden here. I keep calling it cottage garden. It's a pollinator patch. Okay, then I popped one phlox right there. This is the edge of the big bed. I always like having flowers around the edges. I think it's great for bringing in pollinators, and it's just really pretty. Popped one more right up here. So we have Corinth over here. We've got Coreopsis and Calendula, and I can't remember what that is because the tag is off, but it doesn't matter. There's also Rudbeckia triloba that was here last year, and I see it coming back, which is awesome because that gets huge. Also a ton of cuts off of that. So this little patch right here, just a lot of drought tolerant flowering plants that I can use as cuts, but also as a nice entrance to the garden. Okay, and then I put the sedums along the front walk. So now what we need to do is pot up some of the small container-sized vegetables, the quick snack cucumbers and the bush tomatoes. I'm going to put all of those in terracotta pots and keep them on the back porch so that I can spread out where I'm growing things and hopefully not lose a bunch of stuff due to rodents. All right, so let's go get that chore done, and I'll show you what we still have left to plant out. Okay, this tray right here is looking kind of rough because they've been sitting in the sun. These are the ones I'm going to pot up into containers. So like here we have a patio choice tomato, and we have, I think this is a quick snack cucumber. I think I have 3 of those. These are supposed to be very small and very delicious, so I'm looking forward to that. We've also got cream sausage tomatoes. These are little oblong-shaped, creamy-colored tomatoes. They are bush tomatoes, so they all come on fruit all at once, and then that's it. And then I also have, I think it's all just patio choice and, I have a couple, and cream sausage. There are some Cherokee carbon back here, but those are not for containers. So I've got my terracotta over here, a couple different sizes, and I've got some raised bed potting mix. It's got like worm castings and stuff like that in it, all good stuff. I'm going to get these guys potted up, and they're just going to stay here on the patio. I'll move them to someplace once we bring out the patio furniture that they won't be in the way, but these are great for containers, so I want to grow them that way. They're kind of billed as being container varieties, so I want to do it. that way. And then what we still have left to go out in the garden is more cucumbers. Now I think what I'm going to do is take a lot of these to the farm because I would like to grow. I do have a big trellis there that the sweet peas are going to be on, and the cucumbers could easily climb that. So I think I might take those out there. But we still have more winter squash and summer squash. Those might also, some of these might also go out to the garden. And then there's some melons. This one's a melon here. It is, oh no, it's a pumpkin, black cat pumpkin. I do have melons in here. So yeah, still a multitude of trays here to get planted out, and they need to go out soon. And then we have this is the flower garden in a box kit, but it's also some perennials and stuff. So all of these are for a customer. So she's going to come pick those up soon. And then of course we've got the sunflowers that are going out tomorrow. Then after that, if there's still time, I need to find space in the green stock for these summer herbs. We've got lemon balm here, giant leaf parsley, some more chamomile. I just watered these this morning and they're already bone dry. This is what happens with soil blocks if they stay in too long. We've got some dill here, sweet marjoram, and some catnip. So I think what I'm going to do is take some things out, like the sorrel. It tends to get really even more bitter in the summer. So I'll take some of these sorrels out and stuff and open up some pockets. Like, look how beautiful this sorrel is though. I think we need to eat that. Hopefully it's not too far gone. And then I can pop some of these guys in, but the herb tower is looking beautiful. Definitely time to start harvesting on it. We have been for some things, but like here's lemon balm here as well. Oh, smells amazing. Lots of stuff to get planted. All right, let me get started on potting up these veggies, and maybe if we have time, we'll be able to do the herbs. One other thing. So here's the corn. It is out here hardening off. Probably needs another day or two of hardening off before it goes out. And the same with these guys here. These are the decorative grasses for the farm, and these are the zinnias. These guys look so much better than the ones I put out there earlier. They're just bigger and they're hardier. That's so funny. This is an eryngium. I don't know how that seed got in there. So I think these will do better. And thankfully, most of those are still the floret varieties, because a lot of stuff got eaten or looks burned. Even though I tried to harden it off, we did have a couple nights in the 30s even after I planted those out there. So that's just what happens when you start early in the season. Okay, let's get started planting veggies. So of course my battery died right when I was getting ready to sign off. So I'll just do it here on my phone. I feel like that was a good day's work. There's so much to do out at the farm. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but I know it'll all get done. I think if I can just get half of the string trimming done tomorrow, that will feel like a success. So if I take it in bite-sized pieces as opposed to facing the whole thing all at once, that will help. And tomorrow we definitely have to transplant those sunflowers. However, the zinnias and the grasses need another day or two of hardening off so they can survive the direct sun out there. Okay, thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one.